Hello, I'm your host, the Unlucky Moviegoer, and our story today is about a man, some aliens, and well, we'll leave it at that so you can enjoy the mystery for yourself. We begin with scientist Lana checking out flowers in a lush garden, but this garden is in the middle of the Arctic. She notes something strange must be afoot. We cut to zany scientist, Zane, and his partner Calvin attempting to communicate with outer space. He's on the phone with girlfriend Shar when he hears a strange noise. Some science occurs, and they believe it's proof of aliens. They show their boss Gordian the science and claim it's proof of alien communication. Gordian seems skeptical. Zane starts to get a little more convincing with his proof when Gordian suddenly fires him due to department cutbacks. Zane's girlfriend helps him relax. He asks why she would date a loser like him, and well, I can relate. We cut to Lana slowly figuring out why the climate is out of whack when she's met with disbelief and skepticism by her boss as well. Zane has a new job and finds out he's being blackballed by the science industry. His old boss claims that he was faking alien signals. Zane takes matters into his own hands by barging into his old workplace. A scientist goes on in the background about terraforming and climate change, which seems to be foreshadowing. Zane gets into an argument with his former boss who dismisses him as crazy. Some grown men rummage through Zane's old lab and his former partner Calvin sells out their data like a snitch. Snitches get stitches. Zane loses his cool on Shar in an attempt to vent. Just then, when his life seems to be completely falling apart, he decides to start up his own lab. He gets a visit from his peeping neighbor Kiki and gets
Shouldn't you be out tagging freeway signs or something?
light racist. Kiki asks a bunch of questions and Zane, noting his interest in science, allows him to help out. Zane suddenly gets a signal from the aliens. Just then, Calvin gets some visitors. Snitches get stitches. On night 2, Zane and Kiki make contact again, but it seems the signals are coming from Earth, specifically the town of San Marçal, Mexico. Zane visits Calvin to tell him the news and finds him sleeping. Elsewhere, Lana finds out that the climate problem from earlier is an extreme increase in temperature that will destroy the world in 10 years, and the source of the change seems to be coming from San Marçal, Mexico. Zane takes a cab to a radio station in San Marçal, which seems to have been burned down. A mysterious man walks past Zane with a suspicious-looking puppet. Zane cools off and his bath gets interrupted by a falling bathtub. But for his troubles, he gets a nice view. He spots the culprit and attempts to apprehend him. A chase ensues into the night. A festival with the townspeople seemingly walking around in a trance is going on while the chase continues. Our man pulls the bait and switch on Zane. Then, with massive effort, he gives him a shove. The mysterious man's legs transform and he hits the boosties without any J's on and leaves Zane in the dust. Zane is then traveling to a facility in search of a large satellite when he spots Lana getting jacked. He gets the blicky pulled on him for trying to be a hero and they both get apprehended. This lady comes in and tells them they're trespassing and need to bounce, and they'll get their stuff back at a later date. Zane locks eyes with the man and it seems he's looking real familiar to him. Real familiar. How subtle. Gordian, Zane's old boss, tells one of the assassins from earlier he has a job for him. Then he gives him a mysterious ball of some kind. The assassin starts looking real suspect to Kiki. Assassin Man plants the mysterious ball in Zane's house and it starts sucking up everything in the room, including this feathery friend. This technology does not seem Earth-based. Meanwhile in Mexico, our mischievous friend with hops from earlier starts getting new pets for Zane and Lana. Lana gives us a lesson about global warming but states something is amiss. To keep it simple, it seems to be getting super hot, super fast. This prompts Zane to realize something. You see, our science friend from earlier was in fact talking about terraforming and colonizing planets, and the planet he was talking about was Earth. Lana gives Zane googly eyes and lets her intentions be known. Zane says he's taken and bids her farewell. Zane calls Shar, who seems to be simping hard, but Zane plays it cool. Lana has unwanted visitors in her room and they start spreading around rapidly. Wow, these things move really fast. Lana finally gets impaled. Zane sneaks into the facility and sees a massive satellite rise from the ground. Our taxi driver friend from earlier seems to know his way around the facility quite well, and we get this ominous image of him through an identification screen. Zane sneaks in. Hey, how'd you get in there? Zane's sneak level must be maxed out because he ninjas around the facility with ease, until he doesn't. It seems the facility workers are onto him because of his sweat. Zane needs an escape. Zane gets an opening. He arrives deep underground and witnesses a massive otherworldly looking device being operated by not so human looking creatures. He witnesses one of these creatures up close using a shape-shifting machine. Zane notices the shape-shifting is really accurate. He then stumbles around the facility some more and is caught. Alarms start to blare. Zane heads into the shape-shifting machine from earlier and gets a really good makeover. He heads into an elevator to escape, but his gangster is tested by one of the aliens. Zane murks said alien and makes his escape. He tears off his new face and flees into the night, with his pursuers not far behind. Zane catches another body. He then goes to the police and starts speaking in a rude tone, which provokes the ire of the Mexican police chief. The chief claims he's got a report from the power plant that says an American man in a drunken stupor hit someone outside their plant with his car. Zane demands to see the body and gets what he asked for, but not what he wishes for, because the body is in fact his scientist friend, Lana. The master escape artist and part-time scientist Zane flees into the city and hitches a ride. We cut to him confronting and surprising Gordian while looking super unhinged. Zane flashes his concealed blicky. Security catches wind and are excited about a real crime actually taking place. Zane learns the aliens are terraforming Earth and heating it up by 10 degrees to speed up what humans have already started: global warming. He reveals he's been filming Gordian this whole time. Zane goes to his house and finds it's being cleaned out. He gets a visit from his girlfriend Shar and tells her about the aliens. She says she'll accompany him to an observatory so he can search for proof of their existence. Kiki hitches a ride. In the nick of time, too. The crew arrives at the observatory and Zane acquires the keys. Shar seems to be occupied with something. Sus. The assassins from earlier arrive and seem to have cut the power to the building. Zane questions Shar about this suspicious coincidence and she starts getting defensive. Then suddenly one of the assassins leaps from the ceiling and a chaotic fight scene ensues. The assassin gets wounded and leaps up the sunroof. The observatory is then surrounded. Shar continues to try to plead her case. Zane gives her a pass for now and they hightail it to the satellite, leaving Kiki with a vital yet simple job: push the button when prompted. Zane is in a sticky situation trying to hold off the aliens. Shar tells Zane to trust her and let her hold the chain. He does. Zane begins to operate the satellite and tells Kiki to push the red button. It's looking like Kiki is about to fold when... Turns out Kiki was an op this whole time. The assassins bust down the door, but Zane immediately greets them with liquid nitrogen. The liquid nitrogen proves too cold for the aliens and freezes them. Zane is about to acquire the tape from a frozen Gordian when a similar spherical device from earlier falls onto the floor. Shar begins to escape while Zane goes back to retrieve the tape. The spherical device activates. Zane tries to escape when a still alive Gordian grabs him. But Zane's got something for that. The spherical device, now in full force, collapses the satellite. No way Zane made it out of... Yep, he's fine. Zane tells Kiki that the planet will be informed of their alien ways and is under his protection. Kiki skedaddles. Zane's alien-proof video makes its way to the news. The end. Make sure you drink lots of water today.